I'm Eric Elnes. I'm the host of an internet television program called Darkwood Brew at darkwoodbrew.org, and I'm also the senior minister of Countryside Community Church in Omaha, Nebraska. And I have a take on Occupy that may be coming at a bit slant. Actually, what I saw in that movement, which was very uplifting, was the fact that this was a protest movement, but the people who were protesting weren't the typical people you'd associate with just simply being in protest mode all the time. And there was some of that, people saying, hey, we need to take down everything and destroy everything or whatever, but there was so many people from vastly different backgrounds who were coming together and say, we're actually not talking about complete dismantlement of the whole system, and we're not saying that capitalism can only ever be evil, or the people on Wall Street can only ever be evil, but there is some great evil being done right now that we need to attend to, and a new direction we need to take, and that direction actually wasn't actually just a set of talking points. There was actually everybody had their kind of their take on it, but nobody just had what's the Occupy message. And to me, that made it even more powerful, that it wasn't just a bunch of people who got persuaded by talking points. There are people who are saying, you know what, we need to change something. We don't necessarily even know exactly how, but we're here to embody the message of change, not simply to articulate it. And I also see a similar trajectory happening right now in the grassroots in Christianity, and not just Christianity, actually. I see it in Judaism and Buddhism and Islam, but my home base is Christianity, so I see it more there. But when you turn off the television set and you turn off the radio and you actually meet up with people on the grassroots, what's happening to me right now is, to me, tremendously exciting. There's a kind of convergence happening where you have people who have been traditionally on the left in Christianity and people traditionally on the right in Christianity, who have said, you know what, the faith of my fathers and mothers, or the church of my fathers and mothers, isn't quite working for me anymore. Some of the fundamental assumptions aren't quite working for me anymore, but they've left the church, either emotionally or physically, both. But they haven't left the faith, and they've been kind of out in the wilderness trying to do a new thing. And they haven't had the talking points either, but they're out there embodying being in the wilderness. And in the last couple of years, within Christianity, at the grassroots, like at the Wild Gooose Festival, for instance, and at Darkwood Brew, I see this happening all the time with their guests, is that those people who have left the left and left the right, but still have a particularity to them, have kind of shed some baggage. And they're looking at each other now. They're realizing, hey, you've got some great gifts that I've been longing for, and you've got some great gifts that I'm longing for, and you don't have the baggage I'm used to associating with you, and oh, neither do you. Yeah, and they're starting to do this. It's like they're, to use a biblical metaphor, it's like there were two slaves parties that left Egypt, and they've been out in the wilderness thinking they're all alone. Then suddenly they find each other. Then Moses calls them and says, hey, it's time to share our gifts. You take whatever you had to take with you from Egypt that were not burdensome, and let's put them together and create this tabernacle now that will orient us en route to the promised land. So I see this great convergence coming together in Christianity, which is not just simply a blending of the left and the right, but actually a new thing to which people are headed towards. And in my read of American politics, every great political change has always been foreshadowed by religious change. If you look at the whole of American history, it's been like that. And what gets me particularly excited is if this convergence thing is really happening, and there's all kinds of evidence now, finally, that it truly is, like at this festival, totally happening on its own without being forced, that this might actually be a foreshadowing of what the political landscape in America could be, a few years, from now. That's my hope, that's my prayer, and I will occupy that kind of church and that kind of America.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.